Hey, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good morning, wherever you are, whoever you are. This is the pit stop. It's Wednesday. You made it. We made it. You, me, he, she, we, they. We all made it. Much love, peace, and joy to you. And again, this is the pit stop with yours truly, the Grand Queen, coming at you. It's been an amazing week. So far, so good, as Ari would say. um, my youngest would say, so far, so good. And I hope it's so far, so good with you too. And again, welcome to the pit stop. Just a little pit stop before, you know how you do that little bathroom run before you go to bed, or you do a book run before you go to bed, a video run before you go to bed, a little music run before you go to bed. Some people pray, some people just empty their brain, just to regroup before they go to bed. So, yeah, here we are, just regrouping so we can manage the next day, even hopefully manage the night. Day and night is different. And speaking of day and night, just want to come at you tonight about DST, daylight saving time. Daylight savings time. Some people hate it, some people love it. I don't know. What do you say? So, tonight we're talking about daylight savings time, the impact on mental health, PST. Maybe some people suffer, I don't know, PTSD. It's a sleep interruption in my mind. And for many, it's a sleep interruption. So, tonight we're just going to do a little mind check, and we're going to hit pause on the chaos of life. That's why we're here together at the pit stop. So, press pause on your life for a second. Press pause on the next day's event for a second. Sorry. Press pause, period. Take a little break for yourself, for your own well being. Take a break with me, yours truly, the Grand Queen. Just pausing, from all the chaos of life and putting our mental health in the forefront, centering. It is the most important thing. It is one of the most important things in your life, and it should be a priority in your life, right? So I'm here to encourage you to make your mental health a priority, a mind check, a heart check, just like you take care of your body. Please, you cannot leave that out. You cannot leave out your mental well-being, your mental health. It's about your wholeness. It's about your whole person. So hey, we're here tonight talking about little simple things, such as we're talking about something that seems to be so simple, yet it's just, it sneaks around every corner of our lives. DST, daylight savings time, right? Did you know the clock changes differently? Did you know that the clock changes differently? It impacts your well being. It impacts your well being. You, me, she, he, they, us. It impacts all of us. It affects all of us, our well-being, and it depends on where you live. You could live in Cali. You could live again in California. You could live in Arizona. I'm just speaking of places that have different time changes. New York, Texas. You name it. The top of the world, Alaska. um, it affects your equilibrium. It affects some of the things and how you live and things like that. So tonight, let's unpack some DST flips. Let's unpack some DST and flip the script on our sleep safety. Oh, anybody who has, is there anybody who has little sleep difficulty? I don't know. My parents used to say that you need a little hot toddy, whatever. Some people would drink warm milk, but for people who are lactose intolerant, that's a no-no. um, I don't know, some people take a little sip of wine before they sleep because they're having challenges, difficulties, maybe sleep apnea. Some people I call them super snorers, because of maybe thyroid problems or adenoid problems. Respiratory is what I'm saying, problems. But hey, let's flip the script on our sleep safety and even our wallets, because it costs money to have a good night's sleep. It costs money to be able to rest, because we're talking about a good bed. Maybe your bed needs to change. Your environment. Maybe maybe it has to do with where your bed is also placed in your room. Maybe your room, wherever your bed is, needs to be soundproof, and maybe you just need to just change places. Maybe you need to just have a little lounge chair or something in another part of the house, in I don't know, in your den, or just create a little happy space where you can just rest outside of your bedroom. It's okay to find little happy spots, little sweet spots of comfort. I'm just saying. And we're talking about your well-being, safety, and even your wallets. So hey, stick around, stick with us, walk with me at the pit stop. This is your time. So check it out. The silent sleep thief. Ooh, the silent sleep thief. If somebody can really just give us a heads up on your experience of sleep and what the term the silent sleep thief means to you. Somebody please go to YouTube at JTire1 at JTire Form 1. Go to YouTube at JTire Form 1, and just share your experience as to what the sleep thief means to you. What does that term mean to you? A whole bunch of stuff comes to mind. Uh, Maybe some people actually suffer something that sneaks up on them, some type of anxiety or something like that, or they're having sleep apnea is a problem, or snoring wakes them up. What does the silent sleep thief mean to you? Please go to JTire Form 1 at YouTube and share in the chat what it means to you. Also, you can go to Just Stop It, MS, M is in mom, S as in Sam, Just Stop It, MS.com, and also share your thoughts and your experience on the silent sleep thief. I want to know about your experience, because many of us, when it comes to your feelings, this is a safe place to express and interpret those feelings uh, with your experiences. Sometimes we don't know, well, we know what we feel, but it's it's your experiences that helps to interpret what you're feeling. So this is what we're here for: safe space, safe time, safe space, and keeping the open space for you to be able to share. And we hope that we share valid. We hope that Just Stop It shares valid information with you, stuff that can enhance your life and engage you to be the phenomenal you. So yeah, let's talk sleep. Some people say, "Oh, it's only an hour. How bad could it be?" Right? But science has news for us. Losing or gaining an hour. We're talking about DST, daylight savings time, people. Right? We're talking about daylight savings time. And for some people, an hour can be a huge difference. It could be, I don't know, for some people an hour can mess them up. An hour taken away from their sleep or an hour added on. I don't know. But please share your experience with the silent sleep thief, daylight savings time. So yeah, losing or gaining an hour can seriously interrupt your uh it can interrupt not just your sleep, but your internal clock, and what the experts call your cardian rhythm, the way that your pattern, your sleep pattern, technically speaking. For us rural people versus city, I was city a few months ago. Now I'm rural. Um, Rural people might brush this off because they often work with the sunrise and sunset anyway. In other words, they rise early and they finish early. By the time the sun sets, listen, they're done for the day. So it's a whole other story. Rural versus city. It's a whole nother vibe. I'm just saying. Because now you're thinking about long commutes, artificial lighting, tight schedules means that DST hits city dwellers where it hurts. Listen to those variables. Long commutes, artificial lighting, and tight schedules. What does it mean? City city dwellers, their experience is way different, and it may hurt their energy and mood. That part. And then you've got some places where people don't ever go to bed. But I hope that's not you. You've got to rest, not just going to bed. You've got to rest, not just sleep. You've got to rest. So it's a whole nother vibe of energy and mood in the city. Sleep deprivation doesn't just make you cranky. Maybe even the children. Now, this is for everybody. Adults and children alike. Because just think, if we suffer as an adult, we suffer sleep deprivation. How does it affect the children? How does it affect young people? How does it affect, and it depends on the situation. It's linked to anxiety. When you're feeling anxious, why are you feeling anxious? Your sleep pattern, your circadian rhythm, if I'm saying it correct, but I'm just going to use the layman's terms. Your sleep pattern is linked to a poor sleep pattern, is linked to anxiety, depression, and even increased risk of heart disease. If your sleep pattern is interrupted because of pain issues, if you're suffering uh, nerve pain in your bodies, if you're suffering uh, migraine headaches, oh God, that is another story in itself. I mean, that migraine feels like a hot belt. Like somebody just wrapped a hot belt around your head and they just took it and shoop, squeezed it around your head. That migraine is wicked, and you definitely need medical attention for that. And speaking of that, just want to share a friendly reminder. The information in my videos are not intended nor implied to be a substitute for any professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. All content, including text, graphics, images, and information contained in my videos, is for informational purposes only and does not and cannot ever replace a consultation with your medical professional. Not ever. Not ever. And that medical professional could be a psychiatrist, it could be a psychologist, psychotherapy, it could be physical therapy, it could be your primary doctor. You understand? It could be a number of medical professionals. It cannot replace it. It must work together to bring balance, to restore balance to you, right? And this is what we're hoping for you, right? So here we are, on a light vibe on this Wednesday night. Just want to check in with you. I'm checking in with you. You're not just checking in with me. I'm checking in with you too. Um, just because I'm concerned about the sleep pattern. I thought about it. I was like, hey, you know, like with this daylight savings time, who is it actually affecting? Is it more city dwellers or rural or country dwellers? So here we are. Please share your experience on the silent thief. So again, remember what it's linked to: crankiness, not just crankiness, anxiety, depression, and even increased risk of heart disease. You don't need that. You don't need that, aside from those long commutes that you're taking to work or wherever you're going, and artificial lighting and tight schedules. You need to be able to get some sunlight. You need to be able to take a walk, take a drive, or something to catch some sunlight. Right? You need to be able to feel the breeze and some grass under your feet, not just the concrete. Right? So here we are. So now I spoke about the money. Right? I spoke with you earlier about the you know how it affects your sleep, safety, and your wallet. Now I just talked about how it affects your sleep. Now I want to talk about how it affects your wallet, the money part, right? So technically, DST saves time. It's actually originally marketed to save energy. Can you believe that? It was really marketed to save for us to save energy. But does it really work? In rural areas, does it really work? I hear somebody saying, could be. Please share your experience at YouTube at JTire Form 1 at YouTube and just stop it ms.com. Hey, StreamYard, you. It's a little tech interruption there, but that's okay. Yeah, so DST, daylight savings time. So remember, it's more than just anxiety. You want to be able to understand your sleep pattern. Why are you not resting? What is your sleep pattern like? And we just talked about how it affects you. We talked about three things: how our sleep is affected, safety, and how DST affects our sleep, how DST affects our safety, and how DST affects our wallet. So let's get to it about the wallet, how it affects the money train, right? So it saves energy. It definitely saves energy, and moreover, does it really work? I would love to hear your experience about it. Please go to YouTube. Please go to J Tire Form 1 at YouTube and share your experience about does it really work. First of all, in rural areas, farmers operate with natural daylight versus the city, which operates with artificial light. You understand? So, I mean, not to say that city dwellers, they don't get to go outside and catch a little sun, but they're surrounded by artificial light, artificial lighting. But the farmers in rural areas, they need natural light. So shifting the clock doesn't change much for them. But in urban settings, it's a mixed bag of nuts. So yeah, evening time, evening in the evening, what does the evening encourage? Shopping and going out to eat. But guess what also spikes energy? DST spikes energy. Can you imagine? It spikes energy, right? So, still on the money train, right? We talked about how DST affects what? Safety, sleep, and our wallets. Still talking about how it affects our wallets, because it is designed to save energy by extending daylight hours. However, flip it in the rural area. Now that has to do with urban. In rural areas, agricultural activities are less dependent on artificial lighting. So the energy saving benefits are minimal versus the city. The city is maximum benefits, rural, very little. So in the city, the extended daylight can reduce lighting costs, but may increase energy for air conditioning. I think that it does increase energy usage in rural areas because, child, my electric bill, ooh, my electricity bill, I've never in my whole life, I'm teary eyed just thinking about it. How much it costs to operate a house with that operates strictly on electricity versus in a city where your home operates on electricity and gas. I'm just saying. Woo! It's wicked. Or so the DST in the city, extended daylight can reduce lighting costs, which is true because my my utility bills was so it was sweet. It was sweet. But and rural areas, oh my God, increased, increased. However, the health effects, let's move from that because it just makes me, the health effects of DST, both rural and urban, rural and city population experience disruptions in sleep patterns, just what I said earlier, right? Due to the time change. However, urbanites may face additional challenges. Wow. It's true. Because living in the city like forever, there was a huge kit and caboodle of challenges, such as increased stress. Again, increased stress from longer commutes, and higher exposure to artificial light, which can exacerbate sleep issues. It's exhausting. You got what, 2 hour travel from borough to borough, or maybe state to state. Some people work in another state every day, or some people travel, whatever they do, they have a long commute. So by the time and the artificial light, by the time they're not really exposed to any as much sunlight as they need to. And then stress from the workspace, the workplace, stress from traffic, stress from commuting so long, having a long commute. By the time they get home, they're like, listen, I can't. They're exhausted, right? So, still on the money part, economic impact. DST often, urban areas often see a boost in evening economic activities. Now that's in the city. They see a boost in economic activities, such as shopping and dining. That's what city dwellers do. They go shopping and they dine after 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Some people's partying right about that time, even if they do have to go to work because of extended what? Daylight. The flip side, in rural areas, the lifestyle is less tied to evening commerce, less tied to dinner and shopping or even going to a movie. Because people have stuff to do. They gotta, it's an early rise and an early recline. So they may not experience the same economic benefits. It depends on the area, I have to say, because suppose you have like the city part of rural areas, they may operate that way. You know, like I said, it depends on what county you're in. Traffic and safety. Here we go. Last part. Traffic and safety. DST uh, is linked to, well, the study suggests that the risk of traffic accidents increases immediately after DST transitions. Can you imagine? I got to look at that one. I got to prove that one. I never thought of that. I have to prove that. I got to find out about that stat. I have to find out more about that stat. So again, the risk of traffic accidents increases immediately after DST transitions due to sleep what? There it is. Sleep deprivation, lack of sleep, poor sleep patterns. You know, the effect, I think the effect is more known in urban areas. Then again, I gotta find out if if it's what the stats are in rural areas. Maybe they are suffering. Maybe they are at the risk of more traffic accidents. Well, I gotta tell you, they gotta be on Highway 52. On Highway 52, it might be the same effect. It DST might have the same effect as what I'm saying, and it could be because there's always something going on Highway 52. I'm just saying, people, and those of you who want to chime in and they agree, and you agree with me, whoever you are, he, she, we, they, us, it is all of us who have these experiences. I need you to share your experience on the effects of DST, traffic, and safety. How does it affect you? How has it affected you? How does it affect your community? Please share your experience with me on YouTube at JTire1, at JTire Form 1 at YouTube, and also at Just Stop It ms.com. Again, just stop it ms.com. I would love to hear from you. And I'm glad you were with me tonight. And listen, come back with me uh, on March 30th, Sunday, March 30th. Listen, tonight we're in a headspace reset. That last part right there. The risk of traffic accidents, how it increases immediately after DST transitions. We got to work that out. We have to work that. There's enough going on the highway. There's enough going on the road. Period. Let alone the effects of DST. Making increasing. Maybe that's why people have more road rage episodes because of DST. I'm just saying. Come back with me on March 30th, all right, for the Just Stop It show. We got a good one for you March 30th, and we are going to be talking about this. Let me give you a little peek. We're going to be talking about hazing. Mm. We're going to be talking about hazing. If anybody knows anything about hazing, it has to do with sports related. Well, actually, it has to do with fraternities and their initiation practices, and the colleges, schools, education institutions. Listen, they're cracking down on this hazing. We're going to talk about the experiences of men and women because we mostly hear about it among men, but we're going to talk about the impact that hazing has on women, because we're still in Women's History Month. And we're gonna tie in DST in there. How what are the effects of DST and hazing? It doesn't cause hazing, but we're talking about what are the effects of hazing and DST. Um, Again, it doesn't cause it, but we're talking about the time frame it affects your sleep pattern. So hey, come back with me on March 30th, Sunday night, right? Right about this time. I think it's a good vibe this time when people are more relaxed and trying to get their sleep pattern to, trying to, enter, a good sleep pattern, trying to cool out, chill out, and relax. This is a safe place to do it. It's a safe space to do it. So please come back, and I hope that you have a good rest of your week, the next few days before we meet again, right? And listen, you got to cope, learn how to cope. You know, um, Sometimes in traffic, learn how to cope. Get rid of that angry bird thing you got going. It happens. Anger is needful for something. Anger is needful for something. But just be mindful to be more sober, right? Be mindful. Take different routes to where you're going. Don't just take the same route all the time. Take different routes, mix it up. Be flexible. So yeah, just coping and take control. Take control. Take time for you. For starters, prep your body. Check your mind. Prep your body, right? Get rid of that sleep thief, right? You don't want that sleep thief, that sleep thief on your neck. So check your mind. For starters, try a sleep schedule. Try adjusting and create a sleep schedule. Keep screens off. Oh, that part. I'm guilty. Oh, hallelujah. As Chef Alva said, hallelujah. I'm guilty. Keep screens off before bed. Oh man, sometimes I'm sleeping on the phone. I got all three of my phones. One I'm playing the Candy Crush on. Candy Crush Queen I am. The other one I'm looking at my messages, my email messages. Another one I'm doing research or something like that. Yeah, I'm guilty. I really need to do better with my sleep pattern. So if I need to do better, then we all need to do better, whoever you are. As Trayvon would say, whoever it reaches, wherever it reaches, whoever it reaches, wherever it falls. So hey, we'll do it together. How about that, right? So yeah, maybe maybe that Instagram, maybe that IG reel can wait. Maybe that TikTok reel can wait. Maybe that little joke, whatever, can wait. Just take care of your mind, right? Whether you live in a city or the countryside, your mental health, you deserve that. You deserve that. You deserve to prioritize you, right? So thank you for tuning into the mind check, to the pit stops, the mind check tonight. And listen, I hope this was very helpful. So please subscribe at JTire at YouTube at JTire Forum One. Please subscribe and leave your experience there. And please share it with as many people as you possibly can. I want to hear from you. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, take care of your mind. It's the clock that keeps everything else ticking. Take care of your what? Take care of your mind. It's the clock that keeps everything ticking. Your mind. Keep checking it. Peace, love, and joy.